Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to show you a couple hints, tricks that I do to make a journal. Now, the journal I'm going to make is with a golden book. Now, there's a bajillion, and I exaggerate, videos on there, so lots of information that's out there. But just going to have fun and make one out of this. And the reason I decided to make this one is because if you saw my last video, or I did working with my free stamps on Ko-fi, I did this wraparound, this page with the wraparound tab with the chicken. I go, I gotta make a book. And I looked in my stash and I had Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and there is of course chickens on there. So I have started a few things. I found a few papers, and I did this one too with the chickens. A little darker, and actually looks like I might need to cut this down a little bit before I put it in the book. Oh yeah, it's taller. Didn't realize how much taller it was. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this together. I've done a few steps already, so it won't be too long. And again, you might just pick up a couple things that I do a little differently that you might want to do on your own. So as you can see, I picked this up at a half-price books for $2.49. But you can find these at thrift stores and garage sales and library sales. And I probably should have taken my time to take this off instead of just trying to rip it. But I think I can go back and... this sticker wasn't too bad. Clean that off if I have to. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, so I've already, as you can see, taken the spine apart, and I used pliers here. So what I did was I just took it and I kept pulling until I could get this in here and pry it open and rip it off. Now, I didn't mind ripping it off because I knew I was going to cut the spine, and I did go and clean this end up because this was hooked together, but I did clean that end up. And one trick I found with removing, because the staples are going to be sticking up out of one of these books, if you take any sort of pliers, it doesn't have to be bat ones, regular ones, and you grab onto the staple and you just start twisting, grab it again and twist, you can pull it out. It's actually really easy to get the staple out that way. You don't have to cut it and leave a little piece of staple left, anything like that. But you just grab it and be able to turn it. And the leverage of the pliers really, sorry, that was probably loud, really doesn't make it hard to remove. Okay, so I've decided to do a, not really a hidden spine, but a fabric spine. And this is the fabric that I've chosen because I thought, you know, the red barn, how cute would that be? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to the book spine so that it goes up. It's going to be hard to do and hold at the same time. So it is going to be up like this and fold it over, and it's just going to show a hint of that red and white fabric. Now, you might have noticed that I do have holes in there, and what I'm also planning on doing is I have this white string that I'm planning on kind of like shoelacing on the back that will go over this fabric. I thought it might be kind of cute. I haven't done it before, and I think I've got to figure out how I'm going to do it. Okay. I have this is 2 pieces of thicker kind of chipboard weight, and it is 2 inches wide, and I thought that would be good because I'm going to have 2 signatures. If you've ever done a little golden book, when they split open, there's 3 pages in the front, 3 in the back, and you can make 2 separate signatures out of it if you want to keep them in order. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this fabric has a natural fold where the fabric was folded in my book. Oh, and by the way, I took this and it was a fat quarter of fabric, and I ripped it to about 4 inches wide. Maybe it's a little hair bigger than 4 inches wide, and whatever the length of the fabric was, probably about 18 inches, 17 inches. All right, so I'm going to glue this down, and I do have my Fabri-Tac, and I'm hoping this is going to work well enough to go. And I'm just going to throw some Fabri-Tac on, and I probably could just go ahead and use my stick glue, or glue stick. I might have to because I am running out. Oh, there, I got some. It's just really, it's not really attaching it, so it is not going to move, but just attaching it so you can kind of do the rest of the project. All right, so I'm going to do my best to, like I said, put it in that crease so I don't have a crease, and center it so I have enough fabric going on both sides to go in the book. And we're just going to flatten it out. like there's a little glue blob there. More string. Okay, now I'm going to, now I don't know if this is totally right, but I'm going to glue this side down too. More glue blobs. Put a little glue up on top there because I need to fold it over. And there we go. Get that glue blob off my hand. And there we go. So, my thoughts are, like I said, I'm going to glue it so that it is in here and up like that. So I'm going to glue the fabric part down, but I'm not going to glue this part to this part yet until I thread my ribbon through. And then I'm going to go back and glue this part on. And it's going to take a while to glue, is my guess, because it is going to be bent and open and have its little old mind of its own. So I will not be stitching the book together because I'm going to have to let this dry. All right, so I'm going to make sure that this book will close against that and cover it down. Now I'm going to have to also go back because there's 2 layers of fabric here and glue. Maybe put a trim down or just glue that, but see, this part is still open where I can sneak in the ribbon is my guess, my thoughts, my hope. Okay, make sure it's facing the right way. To have it upside down, that would have been really sad. All right, so I got it. I can feel it's butted up to that cardboard. And we're gonna attach the glue. Now this is really, like I said, just kind of a rough attachment where I'm gonna go back after it sits for a while and add some more glue so that I know that it's in the right spot. All right. Okay, so in theory, that is going to be like that. And there she be. Well, the gingham's a little crooked, but there's really nothing I can do about it now because it is glued in. And like I said, I'd go back and add a little bit of glue in here just to make sure that is glued down. And I'll put a little bit of glue in there. Whoops. And in the end, if it seems like it's standing up, I could always add an extra little, trim. This is not the right trim, but just something that I want to put a little trim down there to finish it off. That would be something I can do at that point. All right, and after the, gonna get this closed so it stops leaking out maybe. That is a shame. It is on a bit of an angle, but what am I gonna do? Okay. So we've got this, and I did not get a needle, but I probably could with the sewing needle. I'm going to see if I can get it with my hands. All right, so we're going to pop it through here, and pop it through here. And we're going to make it less twisty. Come on. Not that it totally matters, but at least get that top one less twisty. And we're gonna make sure it's even at the end. This is about 4 feet of string. I kind of just estimated how long of a piece I was gonna need. for it. All right, so I probably could have definitely gone with a little bit of a thicker cord, but I wanted white, and the thicker cord I had was a little more off-white. We're going to go like that and go like that. Now this is not really going to be functional where it's like actually tying it, but it kind of is. When I tie it down, it will pull it together a little bit. And we're going to go this one. And this one. So for all those kids out there who have only had Velcro, never had a lace shoes, this could be a tricky little project. All right, so we're gonna do that one, and I think it's cute. I like it. Like I said, not actually functional, but I could always maybe add some dangles to it later. I am gonna sew through the spine, so we are gonna see this string going up, so I'll probably use white if I can find it. I probably should have put the bow on the top. I don't know. No, because then it would have hung down into that. All right, so we're gonna knot it twice, so hopefully it doesn't slip. All right, so we're gonna pull the bottom knot. Hold it. This is where you wish you had somebody with you. And second knot. Beautiful. And now we'll tie a pretty bow. Okay. There we go. We'll tie a little bow. Right now I'm highly doubting it's going to be pretty. My fingers are slipping. And we're going to double bow it so it doesn't come out, and then we'll trim the tails. So we've got about a foot left maybe. So 4 feet was good. All right, and once I glue it, it'll be stuck to in here a little bit better and go from there. All right, so the glue part, this is going to be where the fun part comes, because I got to sneak in here. Oop. And I might have to, oops, do one side and wait for the side to dry before I do the rest. You know what I mean? Because when I go to lift this side, it's going to be a little bit tricky, I think. Because I want it to definitely stay and not come apart. A little bit more right here. Of course, now it's coming off because I'm lifting it. I think the two ends are probably the most important part. I'll get some extra glue down there. Get my string out before I glue it in place. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to glue the second one. Maybe get some clamps or a book to put underneath this one. Glue steep it out, but that's okay. I'd rather have a little bit sticking out than and not glue itself, right? Yeah, I think it's going to be cute. Yeah, and I think well, maybe I don't have to wait. I'm always so impatient. Never wait for it to dry when I need to punch something. Don't wait for it to dry when I need to glue it. But I guess that's what comes from trying to do it on a video and not totally editing it too much later on. But I couldn't figure, I had to do it this way because I couldn't figure out a way to then put the strings on after this part was glued down. And I could have possibly drilled the hole through all the way and gone on the inside, but then this back string would have, I don't know if that would have worked. It wasn't, in my mind, it wasn't going to work, but doesn't mean it wouldn't have. I just wasn't thinking it, but I think this is still going to. All right, a little bit on this end. And I really should just let it dry, right? All right, I think I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna show you the pages that I have for this, but I'm not gonna put them in. I'll probably put them in at a later date. And I'm not sure if these are all the pages because I haven't sorted them yet, but I think that's looking good so far. Okay, so like I said, I've got the page. Oh, that's what I'm gonna show you. Maybe I won't show you these just yet. I'm gonna show you how I'm closing these to make them fit inside of the book. So here is, I got the first signature done, and as you can see, I've got them folded over and glued so that the sewing can go in there, folded over and glued, and then the signatures can go through there, and it makes them just a bit shorter. I might be able to show you. See, it fits right because this is where the spine is going to bend, and then it's going to go in there and hopefully not stick out any farther than the book, because this part that's folded up is the part that was in the spine. So that's the first one. And what I do is I will take out keep the signature together, take out the first page and do its gluing. So I got that. And then take out the second page to do the gluing. And this is where I'm going to show you what I did. I haven't done the last one. So take out the second one. And I've gone and folded all these so that the faux spine or whatever it is, I know where it's at. So I've taken it and I've glued that together in the faux spine. But what that leaves you with is this floppy part in here, and I'll show you again on there. And what I want to do is determine which side it looks least awful. So I will audition it, so it goes here, so that leaves this page beautiful. And then here, it puts a little green window in there. I'm not too bad about it, but I will fold it this way and see that that really cuts it off. That blue really kind of stands out. That side looks beautiful, but I think this side, the colors are a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and glue this in place. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and we're going to go that way. And we're going to go ahead and glue this in place. Some people, when they make their golden books, will cut this end off to make it shorter and just keep the spine, like for this one, the spine like this, and then cut the two ends off. A lot of books that will work with, but sometimes there are some fun pictures that go to the end that you don't want to cut off, or words even. So I find this method cuts the least amount off, because the part that is getting folded was the part that was hidden in the spine and was not seen. Because as you can see, this book, that's where the scene would have been. Sheep goes together, and it pretty much looks like it belongs there. All right, so that would be the second page. Now the third page was going to be in here, like that. So again, I pre-folded it, and I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put it in the center here where the fold was, and put it back so it is now glued together. So this little flat part that's in here has some glue in there, and it is glued together. All right, so once again, we're going to audition. So obviously that looks good. The horse looks wonderful. When we fold it over here, not so bad. It does cut off those cow faces going their way, but it's not too bad. All right, so we fold it this way. And now the cows kind of make sense. But this, I do not like that white seam in there. I think that looks bad. So I believe I'd rather have that look good and this just be like a wall that the cows are peeking behind. So it really just depends. And it doesn't really affect the outcome of the sewing when you're sewing the signature in, because this is glued down and the part that you end up sewing is right in here. And that has nothing to do with that. It's coming out this top part of where the fold is, and it doesn't really matter which way it was folded, that it's going that way or that way. You sort of tell. Two come back way, one goes forward on this one. And on this one, it looks like maybe all three of them went forward. Yeah, all three of them went forward on that one. So it doesn't really matter. So there is the two signatures that are going to go inside of the book. Now for the papers I've chosen, which I'm not going to sort these yet, we'll sort them in the next video and install them, or what do you want to call it, sew them in. But what I have pulled out is the following. I've tried to find some pastel-y kind of colors. Let me find a page that I kind of, page I was using to was that one I was using to find some colors. Greens, pinks, yellows, reds. This is where I got the red fabric from, the idea again. So this was a cutoff that I had, double-sided, just some writing, lots of pinks and greens. I've got these. They're really lightweight. They've got some grids on them. Kind of remind me of the squares. I got two of them, one for each signature. I've got these invoices, blues and greens. Put the one in each. I've got these hand-painted square papers that I watercolored. I've got a tan one because there are lots of animals, and then green for the grass, one for each. I found this in my signature book, and it had this red plaid, so I thought this would be perfect. This is a coffee-dyed sheet where you put scraps around it, and I don't think I did this in the Bust a Scrap video. This might be a good one to do. I'll have to look at that. Where you wrap scraps around just to give it a little more sturdy, but it leaves a writing spot in the center. So those are fun. I got that. This was a signature page. It's got flowers, which a farm could have flowers, but I liked the colors that went with it, and some music, because in the back, and I don't think I showed you the back of that first one, has the song Old MacDonald Farm. So music I thought was a good one to put in there. This, I like the pink color. Again, flowers for the farm. This was a water dyed, and I thought it was fun colors to go with it. This was a piece of paper. These reminded me of sheep for some reason. They're not sheep, they're cotton, but I really liked it. And the color that, again, with the green color. Where'd you go? There we go. Those green colors, not exactly matching, but I like the tone. I got some double-sided papers here. I thought these were fun. That says butterfly and circles. The dots, definitely thought this was fun. I folded it that way. Who knows, I might fold it this way when I finish putting it in the journal. I've got a nice bright yellow on the inside, some writing space. I've got this green that has the grids, again, kind of writing, and then on the inside dots, like a Dalmatian, not really on the farm, but a Dalmatian could be on the farm. Thought that was kind of fun to do that. And again, I got my chicken page with my scrap stamp scrap over. I thought that was pretty, and those colors do match a lot. And then the one that inspired me to make the chicken book finally was this one that I stamped with the sun and everything, and with the chickens, with the wraparound chickens. I thought that would be perfect. So I am not sure if I have enough pages here or not enough until I start sorting it, but this was my start, excuse me, my start to enter and put these into a journal. So yeah, so the next video, might not be the next video, but the next time I work on this book, I will sort these out and then sew them into the signature. And we are holding pretty good. I'm not going to totally bend it, but I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. Might have to try to go back in and add a little bit of glue in there. Probably have to peel that up and see if I can add some glue in there, but it might just be what it is. Put the signature in there. Not too bad. I like it. Yeah, I'll let that sit a little bit more, but I think it's pretty good. I think I accomplished what I was looking for. Oh, I'm excited. My chicken book. Who knew I needed a chicken book? Okay, well, I think that's going to be it. If you liked the video and got some ideas to use, please let me know. Comment anything that you saw that you might use in your future making a little golden book, or some thoughts and ideas on maybe how I could have done it better. Again, this was just kind of my take on it. A lot of it I just kind of winged, especially that. But it worked, so happy crafting to me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel but would like to see how this ends up going, please do so you can see when this pops up again. And if anybody is ever interested in any of my journals that I make, I haven't made one in a while, please leave a comment that you would like to purchase these. I never sell them for a very expensive amount because usually I'm just trying to move stuff out because I got a ton of stuff. I think I'm down to my last Ephemera 50 kit, maybe 1 or 2 left in my eBay store. Links below, where I sell the like 50 pieces of the stuff that I make, just because I need to get rid of it. I got so many. But yeah, so if anyone's interested in an Old MacDonald Had a Farm book, leave a comment, and when it's all said and done, we can arrange for you to get it. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for today. It's starting to get a little cloudy out, so I think I'm going to call it a day before the storms hit, because it's supposed to rain tonight. And yeah, hit the pause button on filming before it gets too dark. Okay, well, that is going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.